And that's what self-esteem does. It breaks you down. It breaks you down. And how does it break you down? It hits you in the most important places in your life. What you're very conscious about. Is it your health? Is it your family? Is it your relationships? How is your self-esteem being attacked? So this is an example on how important it is to understand what self-esteem can do and how it could hinder you. It's used every day. A lot of times we don't even know. Some of our bosses use an attack on your self-esteem. Our spouses, people that we live with, people that are close to us, they know that if they can hit you somewhere that's very significant to you, they can lower it. And once they lower it, they take some of the energy and the fight out of you. Well, there's an answer to that. I'm going to give you the one. Write this down. The first thing that will cause someone to have low self-esteem is their appearance. Appearance is number one cause to me of self-esteem being lowered. Number two is finances. If you do not have money or you broke, a lot of folks are affected with their esteem based on their finances. So let's go back to the beginning. Number one, your appearance affects your esteem, whatever that may look like. Number two, your finances. Some of us are very, very, very conscious about the amount of money that we have or don't have or have access to or do not have, our credit scores, our living arrangements, the bills that are piling up. Once people get access or know how you're tracking, that affects your self-confidence. The third thing that affects your self-confidence is your health. Whatever's going on the inside, mentally, physically, emotionally, physiologically, it affects your self-confidence. So these are the three important areas that you could focus on that will bring your confidence to par. See, what happens is as our self-confidence goes down, our belief system goes down with it. Our drive drops with it. Our motivation drops with it. And typically, you're under attack when you're building your self-esteem. When you're on your way back up, people are being alarmed by the movement that you're making. And sometimes in the most subtle way, it could be a family member, it could be a friend. In the most subtle way, they hit you with a rib shot. Remind you that you belong down here. So the way around it is affirmation. Continue to do, if you're not already doing it, have affirmations. Who are you? What do you believe? What do you know about yourself? What do you represent? Understand your purpose. When people start to do things or say things towards you that will eventually lower your esteem in that particular area, the way to combat that is having strong emotional intelligence, meaning that you wrap your mind around being intellectually emotional, meaning that you're controlling your thought process as you're receiving this negative information. It's going to come in, but if you intellectually process the negative information that comes in, you know exactly how to purge it. So work on being emotionally intellectual. That means understanding how to compartmentalize your feelings. You know, you're not what people say about you. You are what you think about you. You are what you think about you. So what people think about you, I always say it's none of my business what people think about me. It's none of my business what they think about me, what they say about me. Because if I allow it in, and me saying it's none of my business what people think about me and what they say about me, that's me exercising intellectual intelligence, like emotional intelligence. Like I'm not emotionally going there, because if you say they said this about you, Richard, and I open my cortex of my brain to receive that information, now I have to process it, and that's going to deduct from my esteem. You the one person in this world that has always showed up for you. I'm gonna say that again. You have always been there for you. So don't stop now. Continue to be there for you. Know that the reason why it's called self-esteem, because it starts with self-belief. So I can say anything I want to say about you, but if you don't self-believe that it's true, then it's not. So how we deal with this? Affirmations. Reaffirm who you are. Reaffirm who you are. Stand in your belief. Believe who you are. Stop using those words, because we're not failures. We're living life, and we're gathering content and information and intelligence, and it's all a part of a process that we go through to become our better selves. So we don't necessarily fail. We learn. We adapt. You're nowhere near failure. Life is hard, and I wish that teachers and the school system would teach more financial literacy and more about how difficult life could be, because that's life. Life could be hard. Life is often hard, but the one thing you cannot do and should not do is give up. You have got to, whatever it is that happened in your life, you've got to forgive you first. It's going to be very difficult for you to hold on to your past and meet your future at the same time. They don't live in the same place. Your past and your future never connect, ever. So if you leave your past behind you, forgive yourself, and move forward, you'll begin to see some sunlight. I promise you. But you got to let go of the mistakes that you made. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. Find out what that purpose is and pursue that purpose. Do not pursue your past. That's why yesterday is considered yesterday. I can't relive yesterday. I have to look forward to tomorrow. Take your pain, turn it into a purpose, help people. It is very fulfilling. The life that we get sometimes and the gifts that God has given us is not for us to keep. It's for us to share. So my voice is part of my gift. My goal is to share it. It's not for me to keep. So all the pain and all the things that you've been through, this is going to be connected to healing someone and helping someone with their story.